we can get started. So honestly, what I'm doing is buying myself time to turn the camera on and make sure that everything sounds good. But while we do that, while we wait for myself, let's go ahead and comment below. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Maybe let's start with your name and where you're watching from. And then also I'd love to hear about maybe the latest project you're working on or your favorite software. So if you can post a link below, go ahead and post a link to your portfolio. We'd love to check it out and see what you're up to. And maybe even let us know what your favorite software is, or maybe your favorite subject. Do you like web design or print design or making t-shirts or logos or branding? I don't know. Go ahead and comment below and let us know. We'd love to check it out. And then also, if you'd love to see what I'm up to, you can check out my work at derrickmitchell.com. You can see some YouTube videos at youtube.com/derrickmitchell. And then also live streaming at behance.net/Mitchell's Garage. So you can check me out there. And then did I say Instagram? I don't know if I said Instagram yet or not. Instagram.com/dmitchelldesign. So hopefully there's links and buttons and stuff here. Right there. Anyway, all right, guys, we're about to dive into some really cool stuff. Feel free to comment in the thread, and I'd love to, again, see what you're up to, and I'll try and answer your questions as we get going, but let's go ahead and dive in. Today's video is sponsored by the Graphic Design Bootcamp. If you're looking at becoming a graphic designer and you want to learn more about Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, creating real-world projects that clients would actually pay you for things like logos, business cards, letterhead, and much more, check out the link below for more information and a deep discount to get started today. One last thing I was going to mention too, because I don't know how much time I'm going to need to turn all this on. Maybe it's ready to go and, you know, the real me, the live me can just cut this off and we can get to it. But in case I need a little bit more time, let me just tell you about myself. So my name is Derrick Mitchell. We've been over that. Also, I live in Montana, in Kalispell, Montana, actually, which is just outside of Glacier National Park. And I've got 4 daughters and a wife, and we have tons of fun doing outdoor things like riding bicycles. We float the river on our paddle boards. That's a ton of fun. I love to downhill mountain bike. That's a ton of fun. When it snows for like 9 months out of the year, we like to go snowboarding and skiing. So I feel like I'm rambling. So at any point, Derrick, just go ahead and just, you know, let's do this. Let's get live. Let's start teaching. What is going on, Miles? My dog just came to say hello. Hi, Miles. Let's say hello to the people. Come here. Come here. Come say hi. This is Miles, my poodle. We're working on his mohawk. Oh, thanks. Kisses. Oh. Hey, what's up, Christian? Christian wants to know what I recommend design on a computer or an iPad. Or are they relatively the same? We'll get into that here in a minute. Thanks for joining. Today's video is sponsored by the Graphic Design Bootcamp. If you're looking at becoming a graphic designer and you want to learn more about Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, creating real-world projects that clients would actually pay you for things like logos, business cards, letterhead, and much more, check out the link below for more information and a deep discount to get started today. Hey, what's up, Alexa? Thanks for joining. What is up, everybody? Welcome, Paul. Good to see you again.
We're here.
We're here. We're doing the
things.
Doing the things. Yeah, I'm maxing out my system. I have like 100 windows open on this one. And in the last live stream, it was just me and you doing live stuff. Your camera looks so much better today.
It's so much better.
Look at your pretty face. Oh, man. Except for we're going to tax it out. Not your face. The system, because I'm going to be running Photoshop today as we do some stuff, as we do some things. So real quick, I want to say hello to the people jumping in. Christian, thanks for joining. Alexa, thanks for joining. Got a few others of you in here. Make sure you give Ecamm Live permission to read your comments. So if you're watching from Facebook, there's an option. There should be a link to give Ecamm
little thing at the
permission.
top.
Yeah. I don't know if YouTube does it. I don't know. We're on Behance as well. What's up? Enjoying on watching from Behance. Hello. Thanks for joining. I don't see that coming into my chat feed, so I'm going to bring this window over here so I can see those things. Paul, if you want to check that out, if you just go to creativebrief.live, That's my domain that'll redirect.
Creativebrief.live.
So if we have more people jumping in over on Behance, we can say hello.
On it.
Good to see. That's awesome. All right.
This is going to be so much fun.
I'm stoked.
People get to see like our little sandbox conversations.
Yeah. So what today's going to be, you guys, if you missed the live, what day is it? We're in COVID time.
Monday?
Like you said, I was like, what is today?
COVID
The date.
time.
I went to put in the date and I was like, it's the 14th. I was like, no, it's the 17th. I missed a few days. I just blacked out there. I hate it when that happens. We did a live broadcast, more of a personal development, talking about building confidence as a freelancer. Today, we're actually doing some work. So Paul has a live broadcast happening on New Year's. Really cool stuff. I'll let him plug that later in the show. But today, we're going to be building some assets for that. So some graphics based on his brand. At any given point, my computer might melt down and catch fire. We'll see what happens. But it's doing a lot over here. We'll kind of roll with it.
We're going to figure it out. We're going to have a good time.
Should be good.
Like we talked about on Monday, we're here focused on service because we were talking through some different aspects of like what's going on for your brand, what's going on for my brand. How can we support each other? How can we support your audience?
Yeah,
and that sandbox like started gaining legs and we were like, well, let's go live. Let's just share the conversation that you and I have with your students in case they haven't yet had that conversation with clients, or they want to see somebody that's maybe a couple steps ahead in their business for how they interact with the client.
For sure.
Now, this is a little bit of a different relationship because we've known each other for 3 years.
It's been a while.
3 years? I think 3 years. Yeah. And so we have a different relationship. We're strategic partners. We work together. We support each other's brands. And so you're going to get a glimpse behind the curtain for what does that creative process look like. Derrick's going to be guiding me through, like, as that graphic designer, what is it that you're looking for, client? What are the assets? What is the theme? What are you going for? And then we're going to see how this goes. So your participation is going to help guide this. So be sure to put your portfolio in the chat, put your questions in the chat. I'm going to be here to be the client and then help moderate, facilitate the chat roles. I've got Nguyen is saying call him password. The password is, all right, Nguyen, we're going to call you password. So we've got password over on Behance. We've got Alexa and Christian coming through the stream. Thank you all so much for joining us. Yeah. This was kind of a last second thing that we're just like, let's just jump on and do this live.
Let's have some fun here. And today I brought this along to play.
Oh,
this one's a different flavor.
Is that the Skittle one that you were talking about?
No, this one's Rainbow Unicorn. Equally delicious, equally like makes your face kind of pucker. But I think it's just what I need to keep up with your energy for today, especially since I didn't fall asleep till almost 3 o'clock this morning and then was up at 7. Was up at 7 with my daughter. She woke up early, so that was neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this.
And that's like part of the thing, right? Like as life happens, you still have a job to do, especially if you're getting started and having this be a side hustle. Yeah. Let's jump in. All right. Yeah. I'm going to shut up and be the client.
All right. So I don't even know what you want. This is a little bit different. I usually be taking notes. I wouldn't necessarily be designing with you on the call, but we're playing. We're trying something new. Let me know what you guys think. Actually, I don't think we're ready for this yet. Paul, why don't you tell me a little bit about what we're working on today?
Absolutely. So I want to go live on New Year's with 2020 being the year for vision. 2021 is the year for action. So the title of my live stream on New Year's is going to be Take Command of 2021 or 2021 Take Command. I'm not quite sure yet. I want to find some sort of graphic that I can use as the thumbnails for my different pieces of interaction with my email copy, the email sequence, the thumbnails going out. I want to have something that represents the brand colors, the font, but then really put into the forefront. This is live for 2021. It's going to guide you how to create an actionable plan for your goals and have a system set up to be successful at those goals. So that's kind of the theme of the live stream. And I want to have some graphics that can support that and really represent that when people are just like, oh, let's do this. Okay.
Awesome. So I have to confess, as a learning moment for my students. So typically, usually I would be, here, we'll just do this so you can see. Usually I'd have a piece of paper down here and I'd be taking notes because I know I'll be doing some copying and pasting. I should look at the camera here. Hey guys, because I'll know I'll be doing some copying and pasting. I opened up Text Edit on a Mac. You could use, I think it's Notepad. What is it? I think Notepad on a PC. It's been so long since I've used a PC.
Right.
Like 15 years maybe. It's been so long. Anyway, so usually what I would do is I would be taking notes. This is why I'm looking for my, oh, there it is. 2 seconds.
And this is why we're saying, like, we're just jumping in to serve, to see how y'all are doing. This is awesome. We are just making this happen.
So usually if I was meeting with a client in person, I would be using this guy. I want to add Paul back to this because I want to see his face when he sees how cool I am.
Well, see, now we've got like multiple angles of Derrick.
Yeah. All right. It's the me show. Thanks for showing up, guys. All right. So usually what I would be doing is we'd be at a coffee shop, right? Back BC, before COVID, right?
Before COVID.
and I had, I'd bring an iPad. I would bring my laptop. I would bring the works. Oh, where's my bag at? Never mind. It doesn't even matter. Nobody cares. But I would roll in looking professional. I mean, this is pretty casual. I might dress it up a touch, probably a collared shirt. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, I'm in Montana. It's pretty relaxed here. But presenting myself as professionally as possible, right? And this is part of it. I got this leather folio, and inside of it, it's got multiple tabs. So if a client has paperwork for me or something, whether it's ideas or sketches, it's got a home. It lives in the one spot so it doesn't get lost. And then in the back, I have very high-end Levenger notepad paper. So Levenger.com, check it out. Super luxurious and just so nice. Feels good to write on. And I'd be taking notes. I would be writing it down, jotting ideas, whatever. So when did I write this? This was forever ago. These are good notes, Paul.
And David's saying, like, if you want to take that electronic solution, use OneNote. I use Evernote when I meet with my clients. Whatever is your system, you have that system up in place ahead of the time before you meet with your client.
Yeah, ahead of time. Did you guys catch that? So part of the reason why I would use this is because, you might have a battery die or might not be able to get next to a plug at the coffee shop, power. You might have notifications come through. So I really don't like having a laptop between me and my client. I don't like having that screen between us. If there's things we need to look at, it becomes important, but paper, analog is so nice because your ideas can flow without any technical issues, breaking stuff. So what I did instead, what we're doing now is I just opened up Text Edit real quick. Again, not letting technology get in the way. Just a plain text editor because I don't want to worry about, is it bold? Is it italic? Is it being formatted weird by Windows? So I just jump in here and I just start typing as he was talking. And because I was like, oh no, where's my notes? I missed the beginning of what he was saying. I mean, in my brain, I've got it, but I would have taken better notes going into this. Hopefully this helps somebody. I don't know. How are we doing? David says, well, I'm the only one watching.
The only one in the chat roll. We've got other people watching. So drop a note where you're tuning in from.
There are, we've got at least 7 right now people watching. So here's the deal. We were just going to roll it and not throw out an announcement because I don't want to just spam my email list with, hey, I'm going live. So I'm working on a live schedule so we can do this more regularly. You guys can jump in when you want. But as we get going here, I think more people will jump in. So we're just going to go with it. And I've got some notes. So supporting graphics, getting right to work here, Paul, where do you want to start? What are you thinking?
I use Kajabi to power my website. So I know that there's some image dimensions. Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of know what we're going for. let's do a bullet list, a hit list of like actual assets we need. So you're gonna need,
Sure.
you're gonna need like, all right, thanks, David. Go grab some lunch.
Houston, right
Sounds
on,
good.
right on.
Hey, Caitlin's
We're back.
back. What's up,
Back. Hello,
Caitlin? Thanks for joining. All right. So we need a Kajabi graphic for. Are you going to turn this into a replay, like a course thumbnail?
Likely.
All right. A thumbnail. We're going to need an email broadcast.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you going to do overlays through Ecamm?
We probably need to have the refresh with some of the new branded graphics that we've been working on. Yeah. Because I don't think we have that yet.
All right.
We have the timer.
Yeah. Oh, my notifications are on. Ping. Cool.
Ping, ping.
All right. Ecamm Live, refresh overlays, timer. Let's just kind of roll up our sleeve. Well, okay. Anything else real quick? And then I want to dive in and start pushing pixels around.
Rolled up, ready to go.
Roll them up. Literally.
I've got image dimensions if you want that. I don't know how many clients would show up with that, but I do have those ready.
Rarely. Usually we would be figuring out, but since you and I are kind of working together to keep this interesting for the people joining in, let's get to work. I'm guessing it's like 720 by something. Actually, they do 1280, 1080 by.
They do 1280 by 720 is the smallest.
Okay. Is
this where you're going to do the artboard thing so you can see all of the...
I'll probably do artboards on this one. So we're in Photoshop today, guys. I have my settings on my computer to hide all the windows up here because I like how it's nice and clean, but then you can't tell what I'm working in. But I'm in Photoshop. All right. So let's... new document. Typically, I would jump in here to these templates across the top. We're going to go to Film and Video. HDTV typically gets me right where I need to be. And then right here, this little checkbox for artboards. We're going to do this, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. Let's go ahead and click Create. And we are off and running. All right, so I've got an artboard, and this will be I'm going to rename it. Think of an artboard as a group if you're in Photoshop. So I'm just going to double click in here. It works just like a group. We're going to call this 1920 by 1080, just so I know what canvas size that is. We're going to design some things, and then we're going to carry over this to other artwork. So because I use libraries in Photoshop, you know what I need to turn on is Visualize. Check this out, guys. This is a great app, Paul. If you don't have it, Visualize. It turns on all my keystrokes and it makes my mouse bigger. And when I click, it does stuff. Super cool.
That's a lot better.
Yeah. So,
and if you are just now joining us, Derrick's going to be walking through with me as a client and guiding you. If you haven't seen somebody interact with a client, if you haven't done that yet, we're going to be doing that live. I'm going to be facilitating questions from the chat roll, and Derrick's going to be diving into a lot of the techie stuff that you all love so much as graphic designers. So please,
you love it too, Paul. I have to tell you. I always have to tell you.
I do.
Let me do this because you get all excited about it.
I know. I know. Well, it's kind of like how today happened, right? Like, I'm like, okay, I've got to build all these thumbnails. And you're like, well, how about I do it? And I'm like, okay, let's go live.
Yeah.
So your audience can see us do it together. So if you're just now tuning in, please comment down below and let us know where you're tuning in from. Drop a link to your portfolio so we can check that out as well. And ask questions, whether it's the super techie questions for Derrick, or if you have other questions, throw them in there. We're going to be giving some courses away. We're going to be doing some free stuff. This is right now, he is in Adobe Photoshop. And if you are tuning in from Facebook, for sure, and maybe YouTube, there's going to be a link to click on. So that way we can see your name. So the person who said, what program is this? Please look for that link so I can see your name.
Yeah, let me change my settings real quick. I think that's going to be helpful now that we're doing this. All right. The other thing I want to point out, I think some of your assets that I've done are on a different hard drive. No big deal. We're going to recreate some stuff. So typically how I would work, real quick, in case you guys want to know this, on the new Mac OS, you go to System Preferences and you come right here to Dock and Menu Bar. Right, this tab here, Dock Menu Bar. Down here, this checkbox, automatically hide and show the menu bar. I'm going to turn that off so that way my menu bar is just up here so you can see stuff. Anyway, all right. So what do you want text wise to be on this graphic?
I want to have the logo, the Take Command with Paul Gowan logo.
Boom, done.
And then
What else?
something around like 2021, kind of like it was chiseled from stone, maybe like some 3D, something that represents taking command of your goals in 2021. And real quick, Derek, so Facebook user, the link is going to be somewhere in the post. I think it's going to be up towards the top, and it's going to say give Ecamm permission to do something. I haven't clicked through on that side for a little while. But if you're not able to find it, just drop your name in there. You might be the only Facebook user. And that way I can answer your question.
There you go. All right. So I'm immediately concerned about a chiseled font with your stencil font, with the Futura font and all the other stuff. So right now, what I'm going to do is let's just throw everything in here that you would want text wise, and we'll start styling it. So people don't troll me in the comments and say, oh my gosh, he's using these fonts and he sucks.
Right.
Which is true. I mean, it's okay.
Bring it on, troll.
You know,
quality control.
All right. So what I did real quick while he was talking, I make libraries for all my clients, and I have a library for Paul. So these are, a bunch of my clients here in the libraries window in the Creative Cloud assets. Super cool, because you can create all your brand colors, you can create graphics, you can throw graphics in from any program. So I made some of this stuff in Illustrator, threw it into here. I've got his gradient background image. I've got other stuff we've done where I can just literally drag and drop to the canvas. And then just like that, boom, artwork done, right? So really cool stuff. I've got this artboard here. There's a few ways we can duplicate this. I can click right on the title in my layers panel, which again, treat it like a group. If I just hit Command J to jump cut that, it duplicates that artboard and brings everything with it. So now I've got two identical artboards here. Just going to do some house cleaning. There we go. So now I can kind of think through things and create multiple comps really fast. For those of you who aren't sticking around for the entire live stream, let's say you make a bunch of these and you've done some different things to it and you're ready to export. Just go here to File, down to Export, and then Artboards to Files. Okay, so when you're all said and done with this, you're trying to get all the artboards out to certain ways. You can do it that way. I think you can right click. Yeah, I can right click right on the title and just say Export As or Quick Export as PNG. Those are a couple ways to export these artboards. Artboards in Photoshop is amazing. I love it. So, all right, take Command 2021. And Caitlin says she does the same thing because she's smart.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Jamal. Not sure what's going on with Facebook, but I really appreciate having your name so I can address you like that.
All right. Take Command 2021. Anything else? Yeah. This is okay. Let's focus this in a little bit. So this is going to be the one I'm working on right now. Is this going to be a live stream replay thumbnail or what?
So I'm not going to offer the replay, and I want the latitude to go and pull out some of the training and potentially make this into its own course.
Okay.
So I want to have graphics focused on that. This is going to happen on New Year's Day, 9 a.m. Pacific, to allow time for anybody that watched the ball drop and everything else, all the things.
All right. Invite. All right. This is where it's hard going live because my mind is catching up and I need a second here.
Do you want to take a second and I'll just talk with the chat roll, or?
No, because I need your feedback.
Okay.
So when you said that, it made me think of like a live schedule, but it's just for one event. So then it's like, well, it's just basically a flyer. What could be fun? Even though I could do this all from scratch, I'm super curious now because you said New Year's. And without getting too stereotypical, let's just jump into Envato Elements. I love this, you guys. Envato Elements is awesome. And let's just type in New Year's real quick and let's just see. And we'll go to stock.adobe.com.
While you're pulling all of those things up, if you are watching this on the replay, Derrick is moving at the speed of his proficiency. Do not judge yourself if your proficiency is not at his. You can slow this video down. You can, I think we're going to be posting this up to YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, Facebook, Behance. You guys can watch the replay. Yeah.
and ask questions, even if you're watching this on the replay, because we are watching those comments and creating future content to serve you even greater. All right, what did you get pulled up there, Derrick?
Yeah. So in Adobe Stock, there's some really great assets, and I like to promote them, especially since they're letting me stream on Behance. So if you get a chance and you're not on Behance yet, check that out. An easy link for you is just go to creativebrief.live. That's a domain that I made that just forwards it over to Behance. I'm on behance.net/Mitchell's Garage is my actual portfolio. Same thing, one and the same, creativebrief.live. Anyway, so I like to support Adobe and give them a shout out. I'm also an affiliate for Envato Elements, and they both have different assets. You're going to find a different flavor in both libraries. So it's nice to just have different resources you can use. I'm seeing a lot of great stuff. Currently, though, I like the graphic templates in Envato Elements. I'm going to jump in here real quick. At the top, I just typed in New Year's, and then they categorize it by photos, stock, video, music, etc. I went down here to graphic templates. I'm going to click on See More.
So you're coming into Envato for some places of inspiration, because as a client, I don't really know what I'm looking for. So I'm looking to you to have best practices, current trends, and avoid the cheese. Like Jamal's saying, some of that is cheesy crap. Jamal, you're so right. It's so cheesy. It really is going to help get your creative juices flowing though, right?
Oh yeah. And I try to give myself no more than half an hour. In this case, it's going to be like 2 minutes just to kind of flip through and be like, okay, yep, we're going to do that. We're not going to do that. Obviously, fireworks are a common theme. New Year's scripted out is a common theme. The year ginormous is a common theme. So you can see if you're trying to like jump right in and fit right in with a noise, you can kind of see where to zig, where to zag if you're trying to be different, or if you're trying to make it look a certain way, just kind of seeing what's out there. For me, not that I don't really care, but none of this matches his brand. I could bring in some fireworks maybe. Let's do that. Let's look for fireworks and jump in here real quick.
Yeah, Jamal called out the fireworks right as you were saying that too.
Yeah, I'm going to jump into Adobe Stock. I want to show you a different way to do it, especially since I know I'm streaming on Behance. I want to.
And I'm saying Jamal, but then I loaded up your portfolio, and I think it's Jamel. I apologize for that.
So insensitive.
The font is. I'm gonna have to go get my readers because I'm 40. I turned 40 in COVID.
I totally blanked on what I'm looking for. I'm in libraries. Search all. No, that's not what I want to do. Guys, somebody help me out. My brain is all of a sudden. Disclaimer. Remember, I went to bed at 3 a.m. and got up at 6:50. What is that? 4 hours? 4 hours. So I'm
doing math in public live.
Dude, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the thing. Search all libraries.
We're not doing fireworks. That's all I know.
This is why. Oh my goodness. It's all good. It's all good. I'm just going to come at it through the website. There's a way to sync it.
We'll watch it on the replay and figure out.
And I'll be like, idiot.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we're looking for fireworks. We're in Adobe Stock. Fireworks. There's a way to sync it. Oh, these are cool. All right. These are transparent. That's kind of cool. I'll show you a fun trick here in a second. Do you want fireworks on this graphic? I should probably even ask you that before we get too far down the road. Do you think it'd be cool or totally cheeseball?
Let's see what it looks like.
All right. This is kind of cool.
Meenakshi is asking fireworks in Adobe Stock she's over on Behance. So wherever you're tuning in from, drop a note where you're watching from and ask your questions. Derrick is doing this live for some client assets. I'm the client and the facilitator while he's doing all the super techie stuff. I'm going to be working the chat role. So
I am in Adobe stock.adobe.com. The website. We're looking for fireworks for a New Year's graphic. So I found this one that's going to work for me. You'll notice it's not transparent though, but I want to show you a trick. So it's got a black background and I'm going to save this. I could license it straight up. It'll download it, but I'm going to save it to library. Oh, and it saved it to my default other client's library, but I want to put it there. I want to put it in Paul's library. So I'm going to scroll down to LMNOP, Paul. Boom, it's moving it to Paul. So now Cool. It's in there. I didn't license it yet. It should be in here with the watermark. I'm looking for libraries. What is happening? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reset. That's what we're going to do. I'll come here to reset essentials. Over here to libraries. Come down to Paul. Boom. And there's that photo. So if I were to bring this in here, drag and drop, you'll see it's got the Adobe Stock watermark still. But what I'm going to do is click in there. And if I wanted to work with this before I buy it, this is a great way to get an idea without having to commit to it to a client. So instead of me licensing this, I'm just going to go ahead and use it like I would any other artwork. But I want his colors to come through with this background. So I'm going to change the blend mode here from normal to, oh gosh, which one is it? Is it screen? Darken, multiply, linear. I can't remember. Lighten, screen. They all do different things. So the best way I've found is get your move tool, or hit the letter V, hold down shift, and then hit the plus or minus key. And your layer style will quickly cycle through whatever layer you're on. So I'm just going to cycle through while I'm looking at the canvas here to see which one I like best.
And to look behind this curtain a little bit more, so you brought in the watermarked image because that way you're not having to purchase something. You're able to do a mock-up.
Yeah.
And if you're just getting started, these fees could add up pretty quickly. So this is part of that process for how you can be thrifty and frugal with your startup business as a graphic designer.
Yeah. And part of that too, so I feel like the Adobe Stock assets tend to be a little bit better, a little more pro. And I think it's just because they've been around a little bit longer. But then again, I don't know what I'm talking about. Who knows? It's probably subjective. With Envato Elements, it's a monthly subscription. So you could download anything you want and decide you hate it and then just change it. It's no big deal. All right, Photoshop's being a little bit weird on me.
It's because your computer is just like,
it's about to melt. I know. We're not even doing anything super cool yet. We're just barely warming up.
Question coming in on Behance from Password. Can this project be done in AI? I think that's Adobe Illustrator.
Absolutely.
If I'm learning
yeah, absolutely. We could switch or not, whatever. Yeah. And what's even cooler about this? Oh, this is where I start to I push too many buttons too fast. And I'm like, come on, Photoshop.
Do the things.
Do the things and stop being needy. You needy. All right.
We need like a sensor beep. You needy little beep, little beep, beep,
right?
beep.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Out of control. Yeah. And then when it starts doing this and I'm live, I get so distracted and it goes sideways real fast, but that's okay. We're having fun. So actually I would rather, answer you guys' questions. The graphics I'm making aren't anything super groundbreaking yet. We're just kind of playing around, getting artwork in place, experimenting with some things. Why is this not changing? There we go. Oof. Ghost it back a little bit, maybe scale it up a little bit. Use it more of a kind of a nod to what's happening. I'm going to go ahead and license it to get this watermark out of here. So what we're going to do is up here, there's a few ways to do it. I think I can just right click and license image right there. So I'm right inside the layer inside Photoshop, click license image, and it is going to maybe ask me for a password. If it does, I don't think we'll do it live because I'm broadcasting my keystrokes and everything.
Right. Yeah. There is that.
There's that. No big deal.
And the pop-up window, when you right clicked, ended up jumping behind our
window.
Did
it? Okay. It just said,
if you're watching that.
Yeah, it just said, do you want to use one of your 119 licenses? Is there a bug? So is it, okay. Hudibia? I hope I said your name right.
They're asking about the membership. They said that they're not able to buy your membership.
Oh, for the vault? Or something else?
I don't know, because I haven't heard you talk about the vault today, so I'm not sure.
Membership. I don't
Would
know.
that
Gosh.
put in like what membership it is that you're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. That way
Yeah.
Derrick can stay focused on this part.
Yeah, it's just if you go to derrickmitchell.com/vault, if you're interested in joining the vault, this is the page, and down here's the places to do the things. Only $1 to try it, and you can cancel.
It would be silly. It would be silly to not.
So check that out. Okay, we got this licensed, and I'm going to keep pressing on with this. All right, you wanted like chisel and some other things on the year. What was your thinking on that?
I was thinking something that would just like convey that I am taking command of 2021. If 2020 knocked me on my butt, 2021 is when I get my feet back underneath me, and I want this graphic to convey that. I want it to feel like you have that level of influence, control, command on your life, on your goals, with whatever it is that you're looking to do.
Yeah. Good. So good.
And then Jamel is asking, how many draft copies do you tend to go through before you commit your designs and refine them? Has that changed over the years? Did you originally start like with a bunch, and then over the years, maybe you neck that down a little bit?
Yeah, I am going to save this.
Can you do the things and I ask you questions at the same time?
Yeah. What are we going to call this? We're going to call this New Year's. New Year's. We're just going to throw it right in there. Paul Gowan, New Year's assets. Boom. All right, saved. So typically it takes me about 3 or 4 to get warmed up. I don't know if you guys have seen my logo design course. What's up, Ray? Yeah, Jamel, you weren't even close, Paul.
It's Facebook users. Sorry, Ray.
Chauncey, what's going on?
I had more than one Facebook user on here.
That's awesome. Chauncey's in the group. Dude, thanks for tuning in. Chauncey's a stud. Chauncey's the man.
Great to see you, Chauncey.
So, yes, typically I'll throw in like 3 or 4 or 5. So like, okay, here's an idea. This is not anything yet, and I'll just copy it down. So what I did, should I slow this down? I don't want it to take forever explaining shortcuts. I'm just going to kind of fly, and you can just see my...
I think fly.
Yeah, I want you to see my workflow, not necessarily all the little things. If you want to know how I do all the little things, then join the vault, because I go real slow and I show you all the little details. Right now, we're just going to try and make some art, and we're going to try and fly with it. So,
well, and the sponsor of today's video is the Graphic Design Bootcamp, and that's where it really goes through those stepwise instructions, right?
Yeah, for sure. All right, future.
Derrick's also got a ton of free content on YouTube. I watch it on 1/4 speed when I was doing things on my own. So you have that ability to go check him out on YouTube as well for amazing free training. If you are just getting started and not sure where to start within your graphic design, get started on YouTube for free, so that way you can take it for a test drive.
Love it.
We got another Facebook user saying, "What's up, Derrick? Long time no see." But I can't keep my Facebook user straight. I don't know why their names aren't
you guys got to
up.
let us know where you're streaming from, because, or not let us know. Dude, words are so hard.
Are you tuning in? I'll do the words.
No, I was going to say that you got to give us permission, so that way we can see your name.
There's going to be some sort of link on Facebook that's going to say, give Ecamm permission to something, something, something. Click on that link, and that way, hopefully, we can see your name, Ray, Jamel, and now perhaps somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, man. What am I going to do? I don't want to make excuses for myself, but I feel a little hamstrung trying to keep my brain clear as I'm doing this. I don't know how. There's some of these streamers like on Behance. You guys are all rock stars. I don't know how you do this without even a host, just crushing through stuff. Anyway, props to everybody.
All right. Thanks, Dustin. I appreciate. So I've got a Dustin, I've got a Ray, and I've got a Jamel on Facebook users. So do me a favor, Dustin, Jamel, and Ray. Put like dash Ray or love Jamel. Like something so I know who's
Dustin
message
Mack.
is coming from who.
What's up, Dustin? It's been a while. Good to see you here, man. So right now what I'm doing is kind of trying to not think about what I'm making too hard yet. So if this turns into an email graphic, this is way too big. So we're going to want to scale it down. We'll get into that in a second. But before I filter anything, I want to just make a few looks, and I'm not designing this for my preferences. I'm designing this for what his brand is. His brand is not pink. I mean, it has pink in it, but not like this as a background. So what I'm trying to do right now is just throw some ideas, because ultimately your client is the one, wow, that I'm not sure is going to stick. But you know what? We're going to leave it. It's a look. And so what it helps you do is it helps your client be able to kind of make a decision about what they like and what works for them. So there's a story that this reminds me of. Paul, did I ever tell you about the hairy hand?
Growing up in Catholic schools, there were some things they said that you would do that would put hair on your hand. But no, I don't think I know your story.
Chauncey, thanks, man.
Ray, yes, you can participate on Behance. I'm monitoring the chat roll on Behance. I'm actually the chat roll dude while Derrick is doing the magic there.
I hate this green. We're going to lose the green, just FYI. But
yeah, the green's pretty terrible.
It's pretty awful.
It's like nauseating.
We're just going to delete that whole canvas.
For the client, so that way there's an easy no.
Yes, I should leave it. We're going to put that right back. Okay, so let's talk about the hairy hand real quick. So I learned this in college, and it's like the game of telephone, right? It's probably not even true. It's probably not even the same concept, but I use this with my clients. So typically, okay, this comes back in the day. There was a king, and he had his painter who was painting his portrait, and he kept saying, oh, change this, change that. My nose looks too big. My nose looks too small. My arms aren't right. Like my face looks whatever. Like, and he kept going back and forth with the painter, and it took forever. And finally the painter was like, that's it. So he got it pretty much, pretty good to go. And he just made his hand just nasty, hairy, just hair everywhere. And he went to show the king, and that's all the king could see was just the hairy hand. And that's all he could see. And so he's like, yeah, I love it. It looks beautiful, but fix the hairy hand.
What's with the hand?
So he fixes it, comes back, shows it, and the king's like, this is beautiful. I love it. You're the greatest. And the work was done, right? And so the point of that story is a lot of times clients just want to be heard, and they want to feel like they've contributed to the project. Some of them more than others. And so we're trying to do two things, and this can also bite you in the butt too if you're not careful, but we're trying to give them an option, and also show them like maybe what they wanted is the ugly version of it. And then you show them like the prettier version of it. And then they feel heard, but you have to be careful because some clients just don't get it and they pick the hairy hand, and you're like, no, like that's the worst logo I've ever made in my life. And so you got to be careful with that. But yes, this green canvas could definitely be a hairy hand. It looks awful. All right. Gosh. Okay, you use future.
Why don't you prep some more boards? I'm going to interact with the chat here.
Cool.
So Ray, yes, you can jump over on Behance. I've got 2 monitors going, so I can monitor your chat and your questions on Behance. We are live streaming to there as well. Dustin, starting your own screen printing business. It sounds like with a friend, and you're in about 35 grand a month.
That's
okay.
awesome.
Are you making 35 grand a month in a screen printing business? Like, way to go.
Or is your take home $500 and your costs?
Like, yeah. Are you like belching up 35 grand? Like, what is that? Give me some more information there. And one of the things that Derrick's speaking to, especially if you are getting started in graphic design, you may not be able to influence the top names of your target market or industry. So you might be working with the solopreneurs, the small businesses that are used to having absolute control over everything. And you, my friend, might be that first person that they are going out on a limb and saying, I'm going to delegate, I'm going to trust, I'm going to give this to somebody else instead of going on Canva to do it myself. So when you are aware psychologically of what's going on with your client, you can prepare for that. And maybe you have the throwaway option. We took multiple choice tests, right? You look for those throwaway options. So maybe the puke green, maybe the hairy hand is that throwaway option. It also can help you out as that artist. You are an artist, my friend. That is fundamentally what you're doing. You're drawing with pixels, right? What's your medium? Charcoal, acrylic? No, a mouse. I draw with pixels. Absolutely amazing. So this creative process of having a clear no for your brain might help you out to find a better yes. So play with it. Have some fun.
I'm having some fun.
All right, Dustin with the plug, making and doing team sales. If anyone wants to learn more about screen printing, let him know. Thanks for that, Dustin. I think that's okay on your chat.
Oh yeah,
we'd like to connect people, right?
Yeah,
cool.
I'm trying something new, as if my computer didn't have enough to stress about. Why is it still moving like that? Yeah, so yeah, I'm just trying to melt it basically right now. That's what we're doing.
Right.
So here, we'll put this up here. It's kind of neat. All right, now you can kind of see my hands when I'm doing shortcuts, although it looks like it's way behind. Yes, that is a super leg stream. Whatever. But we're having fun. We're experimenting today. All right, live stream. So, hey, let's look at this text real quick. 2021, take command. What are we calling this? Live stream. Get your life right. Don't suck at life. Like, what's the...
Oh, let's see. Take command of 2021 is what I was thinking.
Okay.
It'll be a goal planning workshop is really what we're doing. Define your destiny. It's actually
okay.
That kind of sounds nice.
Okay. So the other thing we could do here is we could keep the graphic minimal. I don't mind this minimal approach right now. And we could let your text do a lot of the speaking as an option.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm just trying to think what to do with this. I knew you wanted some whiz bang. Let's just see.
You keep thinking. I'm going to keep working with the chat.
Cool.
Facebook user saying, why not a hashtag take command? Absolutely. Blow that up. I use that on Instagram when I'm on there. I've been taking a reprieve from Facebook and Instagram during the political strife. It was getting a little too sucked in. So, I use that hashtag on those platforms as well as LinkedIn. LinkedIn is primarily where I hang out. I got connected with Caitlin from our live stream on Monday. If you missed that live stream, be sure to check that out. All right, Derrick, what are you up to now? What kind of goodness you got going on?
I got a hot mess going on. That's what's on, buddy. It's a battle right now. I am definitely going to invest in a streaming computer just designated to making the stream run, because then I can focus on Photoshop. I've got enough to do while I'm, let alone this. All right. We're just going to keep playing. Wow. See, it's a little bit on the frustrating side. We're going to be okay. We're going to get through it. Oh, stuff is just bouncing everywhere. This happened to me. I shouldn't be surprised. This has happened almost every time I've tried to go live and jump into Photoshop. So I just have to deal with it. Live and learn, right?
Right. If you're just tuning in, Derrick is walking through a creative discovery process with a client. I'm the client, and I'm also the moderator and facilitator of the chat roll. My name is Paul Gowan, and we are working on some assets for my New Year's live stream. So if you're just now tuning in, please go ahead and put your name, where you're tuning in from. We are also available on Behance. Is that the Envato? Behance? Behance. I don't know. Like, it could be any of those.
Oh man.
Drop your questions in the chat roll as well. Somebody, Facebook user, recommended some different colors and stuff. We'll get there.
Do it.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So we wanted to serve with excellence during this time of year with everything going on, a lot of different stresses on your life. And we started thinking about how could we serve Derrick's audience with even greater. And so we wanted to go live today as we were already talking about creating some assets for my brand and just help you all out. Like if you're facing some technical challenges, if you're facing some confidence challenges, put those in the chat roll below so we can speak to those and serve you with excellence.
So one thing I just realized is on my board, I don't know if I had your mic as loud as it could have been because I've got my headphones on. So if you guys can listen in the chat for volumes, if I'm just blowing them away, if I'm too loud, I just turned you up a little bit, Paul.
Check.
Yeah, I should have paid attention to that. I wasn't thinking. All right.
And this is such a great point there, Derrick. Like progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
We're talking about like, what does it take to get up off the ground if you are starting in the graphic design industry, or maybe you've been around for a little bit and you're ready to take your business to the next level. That's where we wanted to get on here and share this process with you today. We didn't focus about making sure that everything was pretty, everything was polished. We had a rough idea, 30 minutes ahead of the call?
Yeah. Yeah. Paul's like, let's just do it. And I'm like, bro, I am unrested but let's do it. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Yeah. We got your shebangarang, your powerful unicorn shebangarang.
You're so funny. Yeah. That's too busy. Wow. That is really not great.
It gets washed out pretty fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. You guys got to learn to like laugh at yourself. And I hope if you learn anything from this live, one is how fast you can move things around, right? When you learn your shortcuts. And two, like at the same time, like I rarely just I take that back. Can I be honest? If it was me, I'd probably roll with this one right here and we would just go with it. But I'm trying to kind of push it further. But it's okay if you don't just get it the first try. It's okay to play with stuff. And what I like to do is push it about this far. I hate this. We're just going to stop. I push it about this far and then I either go play with my kids, go do the dishes, go mow the lawn, go for a bike ride, go do something else because my brain will still be solving this problem until it's done. And so rather than just sit here and not do the dishes or not my laundry or whatever, I can be doing both. I can get started and be like, oh, okay, I've got a firm grasp on what he needs. And now I can come back to it in an hour and I can move much faster because my brain will still be working through those problems. So this is a good thumbnail size. Which one do you like, Paul? Do you like the all white 2021 or the one with orange?
I don't like the orange.
Great. No
I like the second in from the left.
Okay, cool. So we're going to run with this then. So I'm going to save this. You might save a different version where you just start to clean things up with it. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. Hit Command Shift.
Take care, Caitlin. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks, Caitlin. So I'm going to save this to my computer, save a copy, and then we're going to clean it up. So we're going to call this New Year's Assets. Usually I would call it that. Let's call it
New Year live stream assets.
Yeah. Really long title, but whatever. All right, cool. So that's in here. What's that?
Long name, amazing results.
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on these titles once and it's going to highlight it over here in my layers panel and it's going to hit delete. So click, delete, click, delete, click, delete. Click delete.
And you deleted that because you got feedback from the client and you're like, this is
where
the
we're going.
That we're going to be.
So I could rename this layer, call it thumbnail. And what's going to be cool about this is when I export it, the title will be called that and I can see it in my artboard. It keeps everything clean. So in the layers panel, I'm just going to hit Command J to jump cut this to a new layer. We're going to resize this. Let's call this. Okay. So when you broadcast your emails, typically if you're in MailChimp, 600 pixels wide is how wide the widest you would make it. If you do it for retina displays or the high density displays, you would double that. So you'd make it 1200. So what we're going to do is make this 1200 pixels wide by,
do you need some math?
No, I just saw what it did there and I'm trying to figure out why it did that. Oh, width. We'll do it 1200. And then I'll hit PX. Double check your settings, you guys, because if you hit 1200 and default is in inches and you go to hit return, your computer will crash because it's going to try and crop it 1200 inches wide. So quick workaround. If you go to Photoshop, down to preferences, down to units. I've never done this before, but I've heard from a friend, it will crash your computer every time.
Telling you the story from a friend's experience, right?
Yeah. So we're going to go to preferences, Photoshop preferences, units and rulers. I'm sorry. And you want to make sure that you're working in pixels if it's going to be web-based. If it's print, well then inches or millimeters or whatever you feel like working in. We'll click OK. So now I don't even have to put pixels. I can just type in 1200 and hit tab to go to the next box. 1200 wide by, let's see if it's 600 by 300, we'll double it. We'll make it 600. So 1200.
Ray's offering 630, and that sounds pretty specific. Like Ray's stepping up in the chat roll. Thanks, Ray. Do we want to do 600 or 630?
630 is great. Let's do it. Let's see what that does.
At 630? Because there's a question mark at the end of it. So
big question mark.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Yeah, right. So let's go ahead and grab this group. Actually, let's grab all of that, and we're just going to scale it down. Scaly. Resize it. Get it close. Grab this group. With this group selected, Command A to highlight the whole artboard, and then we're going to center it vertically and horizontally. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Cool. So that would be like an email banner. That's an idea. That's huge and big, but then you can let your email do the work, right? 2021 take command.
What would it look like if we put the take command above the 2021?
I don't know. Let's do it.
Are we too far down the
no,
rabbit hole?
Not at all. Not at all. We're still working so flexible to be able to. The only thing is I'm using the arrow key. Usually I'd grab it with the mouse and click and drag, but Photoshop is kind of half listening to me right now.
It's struggling.
A little bit. It's all right. Does anybody have the new MacBook with the M1 chip on it?
Comment in the chat roll. Let us know. We were talking about that as we were getting set up for today.
And
in the chat roll, what do you think? Take command up top or down below?
All right.
Let us know.
Oh, geez. And then we're going to try one more here with some text. And I know the other font you use is Futura for your brand, so we're going to jump in there with that. Man, it's struggling. Okay. So I'm thinking like, I'm just going to type this. We're going to change it, but New Year's celebration, because that's where my brain is. What do you want that to say?
New Year's live stream.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Whoops. Just duplicating the layer like 10 times. There we go. Oh my goodness.
Come on, computer. You can handle this.
Computer. Have you ever seen the Lego Batman movie? Anybody in the chat?
Yet.
Have you guys seen the Lego Batman movie? Any of the Lego movies? I have kids. I have a lot of kids.
Everything is awesome.
I have 4 daughters and I have a son on the way. Super pumped about life. So last night my daughters were being extra, as they tend to do. And my wife, we were nearly on the verge of having to discipline one of them. And instead of that, she looks at me and she's like, okay, first of all, I got to know, has anybody seen the Batman movie? The Batman Lego movie. Okay. And there's a scene in there where he's like, all I feel is rage. 24/7, 365 at 1,000,000%. And that's like what it was like. It was just like pure rage from my kiddo. It was funny. I thought it was funny. Jenna's comment saves us from, disciplinary action without at least remembering that, they're kids. You don't have to respond immediately with like DEFCON 1. She just needed some extra love, just a little bit of attention. I feel like all I've done this stream because we're talking. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to back away for a second. I just keep resizing things and nudging things and nudging things. And I do that when I design. I do that when I'm like trying to warm up and think of what I want to do. It's kind of a nervous tick for me. It's like just working. It's almost as if you're like working with clay. You're just kind of working the clay into a ball until you decide you want to sculpt it into something. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. Just trying to get ideas, just trying to think about what I want to do with my life. I've heard graphic design is fun, so I might give that a try.
I might give that a shot. Ray is offering some feedback here. He's got a vote to cast.
Yes.
He says he likes the take command below 2020.
Okay.
And he said that the font is awkward. And Ray, this is a really great point because this is the font of my brand. And you might run into a client that's like, no, this is crucial to the brand. We must stay on font. Yeah, I'm good. Like if we want to open up that as a flexible piece, Derrick, like I'm easy like Sunday morning. Wrote that
now, really? Now you're going to tell me this? I'm joking, but serious. All right. So where do you want to, okay. That's a whole ball can of worms, ball of wax.
To change. I think it's the
no.
Just take a look here.
Mostly because you've got like video assets. You've got
I know
all kinds of stuff.
It's a lot. Yeah, we might have to just keep it awkward, Ray. I've been doing it since 1980, so I have a high degree of proficiency in keeping it awkward. But thank you for the feedback. Keep it coming.
Yeah, no, and
we're gonna pop 2021 up top. Yeah,
something.
Look at that.
Whoops.
And if you're new to shortcut keys, Command Z or what is it on PCs? Control Z. That's just like the best shortcut in the world. It helps you undo whatever you just did.
Oh, I kind of like how this is spacing. So the 2 kind of comes down around this. That's kind of neat. That's kind of nice. Happy accident. And the O kind of nestles.
Kind of nests in there. Just some kerning.
The rest of it now. It's too much. But I think what I want to do now is I will work more with this offline when Photoshop doesn't hate me.
Yeah.
And everybody's not judging me. Gosh. And what?
Really, this is that look behind the scenes for that creative process, along with some of at the beginning of this live stream, we talked about what it was that I was wanting as that client. And in an hour, you now have a rough proof to show the client.
Yeah. But yours would be really cool by now, which is awesome.
Let us know in the comments down below. Did you like having this approach? We wanted to try something new to see if this would be of service to you. Really appreciate the interaction from all of the Facebook users. Dustin, Ray, Jamel, Chauncey was here. Caitlin was here. Thank you so much. The one name I'm not used to pronouncing, Hudaibia. I think I hope.
And then there's on Behance, there's a couple of them too.
We've got Password and Meenakshi Sharma.
We've got Password.
Yeah, he says his name's Password. Nguyen says, like, I go by Password. And I'm like, okay.
That's actually pretty baller. I like that, actually. Right?
Right.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do real quick to put a bow on this for now. We are going to learn how to pull these out. We've made different artboards. We've got different sizes. While he was talking, I was just renaming the artboards themselves in the layers window to be the dimension and what it is. So I've got email header and I've got thumbnail for the course. So when this is all said and done and you're like, hey, I want to show this to my client, there's a couple things you can do. Paul and I like to text a lot. So I might do something like this where I would literally on a Mac Command Shift and the number 4 to get my screenshot, click and drag to show all of them before I let go. I can either let go and it's going to throw a picture to my desktop, or I could hold on the control key. And then when I let go of the mouse, it saves it to my clipboard. And then I could come over here into Messenger and I could just paste it into the Messenger window and just text it to them. and you'd see it as a text message. I could be like, yo, here's kind of a rough idea. Do you like these or whatever? In this case, let's pretend these are ready to go because this isn't the last artboard that had all the pinks and crazy colors. I would come up here to file. Well, first of all, save your work if you haven't yet. All right, we're all good. We're all saved up. We're going to file down to export. And then because we're working with artboards, we can do artboards to files, which means you can choose what type of file. Is it a JPEG? Is it a PDF? Whatever. Or go straight to a PDF. So artboards to PDF will give you multiple options as well. You can save them all packaged into one PDF with multiple pages or multiple PDF files. In this case, I'm going to go artboards to files. And we are going to select artboard content only. And we are going to change this to a JPEG. All right, so you can go to export options if you want to compress this a little bit. Down to 8 is probably great. It goes up to 12. I don't know why it goes up past 10 to 12. Why doesn't it go to 13 for that matter? I don't know. Nobody knows. 8 is great. Say you're an 8. The ICC profile, that basically just embeds the RGB color. So we worked in RGB, sRGB to be specific, because that's the most universal color profile. So if they're on a Mac or a PC or on a mobile device, most likely the colors will match and look the same no matter where you're looking at it. And then let's browse where we want to stash this thing. Let's go down here to Paul. And let's go to New Year's, and let's make a new folder called Exports.
This is probably a different live stream in and of itself, is like file management.
Dude, don't talk to me about file management. I'm the worst. I used to be. I
heard it from a friend.
Oh, good. I used to be so good. And then once we started hiring people and working with a team and everybody had their own way to do things, everything just went sideways. So there you go. All right. So what I'm going to do now is the file prefix name. I'm going to let it be this long, nasty. And then we're going to add a little shift underscore here at the end of this. And we're going to hit run.
Oh. And Ray is offering that he thinks that the MailChimp maxes out their file size at 10 megs.
Okay.
I do my best to have my file picture sizes no greater than 200 kilobytes, I think.
Maybe and you heard that from somebody recently.
It's one of my clients. He does big brain computer stuff and website optimization and a bunch of all that stuff. So I went through my entire website, scrubbed images, was in Photoshop to export as, and then brought the quality slider down to the, whatever that is. I think it's 200 kilobytes, right?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It's pretty big.
So all of those artboards got exported to this exports file with the name up front plus the artboard name. It added that to the end of it here. So what's cool is if we look down, look, that's only 174 kilobytes. Not bad. Not bad at all. So I can hit spacebar to quick preview on a Mac, and I can use my up and down arrow keys to toggle through those different exports. Yep, looks pretty good. So what I would do then, if I was delivering this to Paul, I would either compress all of these. I'd right click and archive this. Where are we at? Let's find this. Compress.
PC users, good luck.
Zip it up. Zip it good. Da-na-na-na.
When you come along, you must zip it.
There it is.
When comes along,
there it is.
You must zip it.
All right. So this whole export file .zip is only 780 kilobytes. So I could easily drop this into Messenger or into an email, call it good. If this was much larger than like, I don't know, 20 megs, because I have a Dropbox folder, I just sync with Dropbox. I could right click on this, come down to copy Dropbox link, boink. I'd click into my messages and I would paste it into either a message to Paul or an email. And then he could just unzip it from Dropbox directly. So there you go. Boom, done. We made some graphics, made them the right size. We had some fun. Paul, we didn't give anything away yet.
We didn't. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I've got a client call in 9 minutes. So
we better bounce. We better bounce. All right. I'm feeling
let
generous.
Us know. Are you gonna throw? What about the guy who said that there might be a issue with the things? Hudaiba?
Dude, I was.
Am I still under?
No, my brain hurts. I wasn't paying attention. I was just trying to look through the chat roll real quick.
Yeah.
And see, I kind of want to give, I don't know if Chauncey has any of my stuff yet. He's a friend. He's a stud.
Yeah.
Chauncey, just call me. You've got my number. Just call me and I'll hook you up.
I'm going to put a vote in for Ray. He's the lone vote for which one was looking better. So I'm going to throw a vote for Ray.
Okay. All right. Ray, I want to hook you up, man. I'm thinking, he sounds like he knows what he's doing. Do you want the portfolio builder or maybe the Upwork course? That's a good course. If you already know what you're doing, trying to land more work. Ooh, Creative Market gift card. That sounds
Do you want to
fun.
give him your...
If you're already a designer. All right, Ray, let me know. Do you want a Creative Market gift card or a free course? Bootcamp?
Door number three. Door number three.
All right, well, we figure that out. If you don't figure it out, Ray, I'm just going to stalk you and send you something or something. I don't know if I can. I don't know how to do that. Okay, he's got to email me. Ray, send me an email at completegraphicdesign@gmail.com because Jenna checks that, and that way it'll actually happen.
There it is.
There it is. All right, cool.
Pull us to the 2 up, and we'll take the show out.
Oh, gotcha. It's like 2 up. What are you talking about?
You're going to have a button to do that soon with the Stream Deck.
Stream Deck, so usually I use my phone, but my phone is doing this fancy bit. It's right up there. There's my phone. It's broadcasting my desktop wirelessly with the app called Epoch Cam. I don't know, from Elgato, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Stream Deck. I'm going to be all fancy. Now I just got to buy a whole new computer, apparently, so I can actually stream stuff.
If you've got the new MacBook Air, let us know how you're loving it.
Yeah. All right, guys. I had a ton of fun. Paul, thanks so much for hanging out. Oh, no. The live video was interrupted at the most crucial moment.
The computer was hanging on the whole time, too. Darn it.
Did the stream die or?
I don't know.
Just freeze. Ray, I don't know if you caught that, but you want a giveaway. So just email me, completegraphicdesign@gmail.com. My wife, Jenna, checks that. We'll get you hooked up with a gift card to Creative Market or a free course. So
there it is.
Let's touch base there. Thank you, everybody. Paul, thank you so much for your time. Go crush it with your call. We'll circle back to those graphics and get you hooked up. Anything else before we go?
You're going live again later this week. It's either tomorrow or Saturday.
Look at you. Keep me accountable. Paul, we are business partners, accountability friends, kick each other in the butt when we need to. I told him I was going to go live 3 days a week. So it's already, what day is it? Thursday? And I've only been live twice.
So you got tomorrow or Saturday.
So we'll be coming to you live again soon. Paul, you better bounce, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody on the chat. Feel free to post if you're watching this video later. We do read these comments. So jump in, keep commenting, and thank you so much for your support. We will catch you all later.
See you.
Thanks, Paul. See ya. All right, guys, thanks for watching today. Hope you learned a lot of valuable information, and I appreciate you sticking around to the very end. But before you go, just a couple things I want to remind you. The first is, if you haven't already, feel free to like this video if you can, depending on where you're watching from. Give it a thumbs up or subscribe or tap the bell or give it a follow if you can. And also maybe even just copy the link up in the browser and share it with a friend or post it to your Facebook page. I'd really appreciate that. But again, just want to say thanks for sticking around, and I'd love to continue going live as much as possible and helping you guys out. So the best way that I can help you is by you commenting on the videos below. I read those comments. I engage with them as soon as I can, if I can, when I see them. So if it's live, I'll try and answer you right away. If this is a replay, you can still comment on the video, and I go back and I read those. So I just wanted to say thanks again for watching, and let me know what you're working on. I'd love to help you out, and hopefully we will see you in the next live. And to be sure you don't miss it, like this video and subscribe and follow and do the things. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.